So not used to this hair. Hi everyone, it's Rosandra, and sorry it's been a long time. Seriously, long time no see. Before I go into the main purpose of this video, I wanted to do a really quick life update so y'all know where the heck I've been and why I've been super MIA. So the last video I recorded, if you remember, was one where I went to my favorite restaurant, the Shindo Kalguksu. And actually, the night that I recorded that video, that same day, I ended up tripping out of a building and hurting my foot really, really badly. To make a long story short, I have been kind of going through foot recovery for the last, has it been 7 weeks? 7 weeks or so. I had like a splint on my leg and I had to do like physical therapy and things like that. So I was really, really stressed out and going through a lot of like just stress over my foot and like a bunch of issues throughout my body out of stress. So I kind of stepped back from YouTube just to kind of take care of myself. Yeah. But aside from that, everything is okay now. I can walk on my foot and everything is good. So I'm really, really thankful for that. Aside from that, I've been just busy with school, you know, summer camp, and just life keeps me really, really, really busy. So sorry I've been kind of away for a long time. But anyway, on with today's video, which is about people following you in Korea.
Bruh.
I guess this is kind of a story time, kind of a tips video, kind of a combination. I say kind of way too much. So a couple weeks ago, I was filming a video that I've yet to upload with my friend Sehyun. I'm with my friend Sehyun. Hi! I noticed that when we were shooting the video, you know, I'm foreign, it's rare that you see a camera at the kind of place we're shooting at. It's natural that there would be like a lot of attention, so you know, people would walk by and glance and kind of smile and laugh, but there are these two guys in particular that would not stop watching us. And, you know, at first I figured, oh, they're curious, they see some foreigner, and she has a camera, it's kind of a rare sight. But when I tell you these guys were watching for like 25 minutes, and the whole time they were watching and staring, like, and like creepily smiling, after a while it became really unnerving. My friend Sehyun also noticed, and we were both kind of like, oh, that's weird, whatever. Again, about 25 minutes passed by, dudes are still hanging out, still watching us, and then we decided to slip into another restaurant nearby. There wasn't any table available in the back of the restaurant, so we ended up sitting in the front of the restaurant near like these huge windows, so you can see the people walking by, cars passing, that kind of seat. Of course, I kind of was hesitant because I knew those guys were kind of watching us and being kind of creepy. But, you know, there was nothing else we could do, so we decided to just kind of sit there and hang out. And a couple minutes go by, nothing's really going on, and we start seeing the same dudes that were watching us record the video. They started to walk past the window, and they would stop and stare at me and stop and stare at her. And then they would kind of go away. You know, our nerves were a little bit worked. We were like, that's really weird. Guys, this literally continued for a good like 45 minutes. Like, the same dudes would like disappear for a while, then casually walk past the window and stop and stare, and then walk away, and then start laughing, and then come back, and then stop and stare, and then keep watching. I'm not the kind of person that's easily angered by any means. I think I'm a pretty calm person, but things like that, like, you know, when you're foreign, and not to play a gender card, but when you're a girl in a foreign country, there's just certain things you really don't want to happen. One of those things being watched by creepy guys. As I mentioned, I don't usually get angry, but I started to feel like this anger like building up inside of me, and my friend Sehyun is like, oh, like, should I go talk to them? I don't know what we should do. And I'm like, no, like, we shouldn't have to talk to them. They need to get out of here. They keep walking by, walking by, walking by. I'm getting slowly more and more angry, and then one of the dudes, I remember I was eating a sandwich and I saw the guy, he was looking from the corner of the window, like kind of like trying to hide, and he was like staring at me. So I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So I ran out of the restaurant and I started yelling at him in Korean. Thankfully after that, they kind of were shocked and they were like, oh, and then they left us alone and went away. But in what world is that cool? It's not. My point is with this story is, whether it's out of curiosity, whether it's out of creepiness, people might be tempted to follow you around here and stalk you or I don't know, just seek you. I don't know what else to say, but it's really creepy. And whether you're a dude or a girl, like, it doesn't even matter, truthfully. You should really watch out for yourself here and keep yourself safe. So yeah, I tell you this story in the hopes that, you know, this kind of situation doesn't happen to you. But if something like that does happen, there are two things I can think of doing that, you know, would probably help the situation and help you be more protected in the situation. The first of which being draw attention to the situation. If your situation is something like mine, where the guys are really quiet and not many people are really paying attention, I think it's a really big deal to kind of draw attention to it. If you live here, you know that people are glued to their phones. Like, they'll be walking and they're completely zoned out. So if someone's bothering you, people, honest to goodness, might not even notice because they're on their phones. But when the situation really started to get to me, I thought it was important to draw attention. So it's like, hey, these dudes are bothering us. They need to be shocked a little. They need to be startled, and people around me need to be woken up and realize, hey, these guys are creepy and they won't leave us alone. That's why, as much as it's not a part of my character, I went outside and I yelled at the guys. One, to kind of scare them a little bit and let them know, like, you guys are so freaking creepy. And also to kind of draw attention so that if something were to happen, people would be there to see it, you know? So I think drawing attention is really important. Secondly, I would say you should learn how to say things in Korean. Even if you don't speak Korean, it's good to have like these phrases in the back of your mind that can like shake someone up a little bit or let them know, hey, you're stepping out of line, leave me alone. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like, I remember I ran out and the first thing I screamed was, yeah! And I said, I don't know if it's grammatically correct, but I was like, "Where like, why are you watching? Like, why are you watching us?" And I said, "Hajima," which is like, stop that. So I feel like if you can't remember anything in Korean, at the very least remember hajima, which is stop, or I don't know, ka, go, like. I can't think of anything else right now, but there's tons of things you can say. I think if there's a situation where someone's physically holding on to you, you could say like, "손대지마," like, don't touch me. And, you know, every situation is different. This isn't gonna work in every situation, but I find that if you speak Korean, it kind of shakes them up a bit, you know? Because they don't expect someone like me to say, you know, 손대지마 to them. They didn't touch me, by the way. Long story short, people are creepy everywhere in the world. Make sure that if you come to Korea, don't come here thinking everyone is gonna be so kind, even though I talk about how kind they are. Truthfully, people here are really kind, but just like people back home, there are some weird ones too. So make sure you have phrases in the back of your mind, and don't be afraid to draw attention to yourself in these situations for your own safety and potentially the safety of others. That's all. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Sorry if it's a little longer than usual, I kind of rambled a lot. But I hope it's helpful, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye, y'all.